Stella
and Tarrant from Meeple University on the Dice Tower.
Today we'll be teaching you how to play Summer Camp, game designed by our fellow Australian Phil Walker-Harding, published by Buffalo Games. So hopefully you can play the game after watching this video.
Now let's get to the table. It's summer and you are away on summer camp. There's a whole lot of new friends to meet and activities to learn, and in this game you will build up your own personal deck of cards in order to advance your own proficiency at these different activities and purchase more cards to increase your skill. You'll be aiming to get general participation badges and specialised merit badges in all of the key areas, and once one player has all three of the merit badges, the player with the most points wins. To set up, first you'll set up the camp board. Take the folding piece and place it at the top of the table, and then shuffle the 9 square tiles and lay them out in a pattern underneath, so that you have 3 pathways, each 3 tiles long. From the main box, take the smaller box labelled Base Pack, as well as any 3 other boxes. In your first game, we recommend Water Sports, Cooking, and Outdoors. Any remaining boxes won't be used in this game. Open each of the smaller boxes and remove all of the content. Each box will contain a deck of cards and 4 merit badges. Flip the deck over and then find the 4 cards which show this icon, one move, in the bottom left corner. Separate them from the rest of the deck. Then shuffle the main deck. Then place the deck next to one of the rows of the board and deal the first 2 cards face up next to that row. At the other end of the row, place the corresponding merit badges, with the lowest value at the bottom and the highest value at the top. You'll use all 4 merit badges in a 4-player game, the 10, 8 and 6 in a 3-player game, and the 10 and 6 only in a 2-player game. Repeat this for all 3 of your small boxes. Now open the base pack and remove its contents. You'll find 6 merit badges and a deck of cards. Separate the cards into their 4 separate piles, Lights Out, S'mores, Scavenger Hunt and Free Time, and the merit badges into their 2 types, All-Star and Participation. Stack the Participation and All-Star badges onto their spaces, again with the highest on top and the lowest on the bottom, using all 3 badges in a 3 or 4 player game and leaving out the middle score in a 2-player game. And then place the S'mores, Scavenger Hunt and Free Time cards next to the board like so. Now set up each player. Each player receives a player board in their colour and takes a starting deck of cards comprising 7 of the Lights Out cards from the base box, and then 1 of each of the Move 1 cards from the different smaller boxes. These cards are shuffled and become the player's starting deck, which is placed over here on the draw space of the player board. Each player then receives 1 snack bar token, which is placed here. Each player now places their 3 coloured meeples onto the starting space of the 3 tracks corresponding to their player count. In a 4-player game, this will be the 3rd step of the track. In a 3-player game, it will be the 1st step of the track. And in a 2-player game, it will be off the board. Choose a starting player who takes the starting camper patch and draws 3 cards from their deck into their hand. The 2nd player draws 4 cards, the 3rd player draws 5 cards, and the 4th player draws 6 cards. You're now ready to play. Summer Camp is a deck building game. Each player in the game will have their own private deck of cards, and through the game they will be drawing and playing cards from that deck in order to take their effects, and buying cards from the common supply to add to their decks to make them stronger. On your turn, you can take as many actions or buy as many cards as you can afford using the cards in your hand. And so let's look at how to do each of these. When you buy a card, you may choose from any of the 9 face-up cards around the central board. To buy it, you'll need to pay its energy cost, which is the number printed in the red circle at the bottom left corner of the card. Energy may be gained in one of 3 ways. Firstly, by playing a card from your hand to your play area, located above your player board, which has an action granting you energy. Secondly, by playing any card from your hand, irrespective of what is written on it, to gain 1 energy. And thirdly, by returning a snack bar token from your collection to the general supply for 1 energy. So for instance, to buy this flashlight at a cost of 5 energy, I could play this s'mores for 2 energy, play 2 random cards into my play area for 1 energy each, and spend a snack bar for a total of 5. Any card that you purchase is placed into your discard pile. A card's energy does not need to be spent on a single purchase, and so the 2 energy from these s'mores could be spread across 2 different purchases. Energy that you gain by playing cards must be spent on the turn it's gained. It will be lost at the end of the turn. However, do note that if you gather any snack bars, those can be carried over from turn to turn. After buying an activity card, you do not immediately replenish the empty space that's left. To take a card's action, play the card into your play area and then resolve the text as shown. When you use a card for its action, you will not be able to spend it as 1 energy for buying cards. A key action that you'll be looking for is the move action, and this advances you on the tracks. Move forward the corresponding number of spaces to the next path space or bridge if you're at the end of a tile. When you enter a path space which shows a bonus at the top, immediately claim that bonus. Here you draw 1 new card from your deck into your hand. Here you gain 1 new snack bar token to add to your collection and later spend for energy. And do note that you cannot have more than 6 snack bars at a time. And here you may advance 1 additional step, either on the same or a different path. The movement from this bonus can trigger other bonuses. Moving is the major way to get points and badges. When all 3 of your campers have at least reached the first bridge, take the top participation badge into your collection. Once all 3 campers have reached the second bridge, take the top All Stars badge. And when you reach the final bridge on a track, take the top merit badge for that track. Once a camper is on the final bridge, any further movement you would gain on that path is lost. For all of the other actions in the game, simply follow the text as printed on the card. Some actions, for example, will grant you new snack bars, remembering again that you can have a maximum of 6 snack bars at a time. Some actions will allow you to draw new cards from your deck into your hand, while there are others which will allow you to discard cards. When playing these, you must recognise the difference between your play area, where the cards you've played this turn go, and your discard pile. When a card instructs you to discard, the cards you're discarding go into your discard pile. Once you no longer wish to take any more actions, or you're no longer able to, your turn is over. Discard all of the cards from your play area and any leftover cards in your hand, and then draw up to your hand limit of 5 from what's left in your deck. If you ever need to draw a card but your draw deck is empty, then gather up all of the cards currently in your discard pile, shuffle them, and then flip them over to be a new draw deck. Then continue drawing. This may also happen during your turn as part of taking an action, and you'll do the same thing. Gather everything in your discard pile, but not your play area, shuffling it into a new deck before completing the action. Then to finish your turn, replenish any empty spaces in the supply, and double check that you haven't missed any merit badges you're eligible for. Play then passes to the next player clockwise. The game ends once one player has reached the final bridge on all 3 paths, and therefore has collected all 3 of the end of path merit badges. Play then continues until all players have had the same number of turns, which will be when play passes back to the starting camper. Players now add up their final scores. Add up all of the points showing on all badges that the player has collected. Then gather up all cards from hand, deck, and discard pile, and lay them out, scoring any points shown in the orange star in the bottom right corner of any cards. Finally, for any campers who crossed the second bridge but did not reach the third, you'll score points based on which step they reached. So 5 points for this one and 4 points for this one. The player with the highest score wins. In the event of a tie, whoever has the most leftover snack bars wins, and if still tied, victory is shared.
And that's how to play summer camp. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this video, please help us by hitting that like button and subscribe to the Dice Tower please if you haven't already done so.
And if you have any questions, comments or feedback, please leave them in the comment section below.
See you next time.